You are going to die. Everyone around you is going to die. And if you don't die, your business is going to die. Those were the voices all around you 1 year ago. On your phones, on the news, and everywhere else. As you stood in this room, as you sat in this room in the last live cosmetic surgery conference in the world, it was the big unknown. And when you got home, they shut you down. They shut us down. They shut everyone, everywhere down. They said your patients wouldn't come anymore. They said cosmetic surgery is dead. And after that, we kicked COVID's ass. We are standing right now in the greatest cosmetic surgery economy in the history of the world. Everyone, everywhere, is booking surgeries at unprecedented rates. Everyone that I know is breaking records month over month, and it's all because of the pandemic. This is not survival. This is an evolution, a higher level of performance that didn't exist before. The game has changed, and any time that the game changes radically like this, there is always a shift that favors different skill sets than the old game. Your strengths and your weaknesses in this new game are going to be exposed. So if you're going to use a 2019 business strategy now, you're going to get crushed. You need to learn how to ride this wave. And to learn how to ride this wave, you have to understand it. And the best place to understand it is the Jersey Shore. My father's beach house is just off of the frame to the left. And the next house, that's Brett's house. Brett works on Wall Street. But he doesn't have to go to Wall Street to work on Wall Street anymore. Next to him, we have John and Mary. John and Mary work in the tech industry, but they don't have to drive anywhere to work in that industry anymore. And then there's Sarah. She's a corporate lawyer. She doesn't have to leave her house to do corporate law anymore. She does Zoom from the third floor at her leisure in her pajamas. So Brett's wife has wanted a tummy tuck for years. They have the money, but they didn't have the trust in other people watching their 4 kids. But now that Brett's home all the time, it's no problem to have somebody watch the kids and to help with the recovery. So Brett can help out, the procedure gets done. John and Mary love to travel the world. They can't travel anywhere anymore. But they want to do something. They want to use some of that disposable income. So they went for his and hers liposuction, and they can recover at home. Because no matter how beat up they lose, they don't have to go anywhere. They can just camp out and heal. And Sarah? Well, she didn't like the way she looked on the Zoom calls. So now she's become an avid user of Botox and fillers. And all of the Sarahs of the world are a brand new market, full of cash and ready to spend. It's a new culture. Offices are empty. Offices and buildings are empty in expensive real estate areas. New York, Boston, Atlanta, Philadelphia, everybody's working from home. The companies are saving a ton of money on leasing, on real estate, on commuting, and it's not going to go back to normal. Because the moment that you have the Wall Street guy living down here, doing his work from a laptop, he's never coming back. You're not going to get me back into a New York City grind if I can do all of the work from my laptop. I'll fly in from time to time. So all of the challenges to the cosmetic surgery expenditure are essentially gone. As long as you have a laptop, it doesn't matter where it is. You can work. You no longer need to take time off from work to receive a paycheck. You no longer need to waste hours of your life in a car commuting, burning gasoline, and texting and driving. There's no barriers anymore. You've got more free time because you're compressing your day into convenience time for working. Ask your kids. College is now done as a convenience on the beach. You squeeze the hours in, it has become doing a task, not doing a task within the 8-hour work week. You have more disposable income if you're not spending it on your car. You're not putting miles on the car. You don't need to spend money and time in the car. You have less competition for those dollars because when you're competing with other cosmetic surgeons for cosmetic cases, that's not the only competition. The other competition is what these people would do with that money if they felt on spending it somewhere else. So you're competing with the trip to Disney, the trip to Greece, the trip to anywhere else, and that trip doesn't exist anymore. You've got people at home, so whoever is around at home can help out. You got the college kids at home, they can help with the recovery. They can do everything and anything that would have been difficult to do before. So the motivation is there for the patient to say, hey, this is my opportunity. And how you tap into this is to up your game for the virtual world. This is you working. This is you doing a consultation on a patient who might be on another surfboard. Keeping it simple is essential here. Okay, I'm sure there's a lot of you that are tech challenged, and when somebody says virtual consult, you cringe and you say, I don't want to do that. Well, you have to do that because this is where that market is thriving, but you got to keep it simple. And you got to keep it systematic. Virtual and all of this stuff and all of these patients are sophisticated people. So if you have a system for addressing these people, you will do well because it's simply a numbers game. So what is virtual? What is the dumbed-down version of virtual? It's a phone call. And while you're talking to that patient, if something needs to be seen, that phone call, which is on a cell phone, because every patient is on a cell phone, can text you photos, and you can have a conversation. No Zoom, no fancy software, just a phone. And so what do you do with that interaction? Has anyone in this room ever dictated an operative note? Of course. Put your camera on your phone and dictate a conversation note. Can you send that conversation to your secretary? Of course you can. So her job is to listen to it and do whatever needs to be done to process that exchange. All right? It could be to issue a consultation. It could be to issue a quote, and you have the record of that. So all of a sudden, virtual got easy, virtual got systematic. I still have to drive to work. Okay, so rather than listen to Led Zeppelin, I'm listening to all of my potential leads. I have a 1-hour ride. I average 10 minutes per phone call. That's 5 leads, 5 days a week. That's 25 potential clients that you spend some quality time calling directly. On the weekend, if you want, you do 3 or 4. And you just email that op note straight to your secretary. She'll pick it up on the Monday. She'll do whatever you told her to do with it. It's a system. So your patient gets the virtual interaction. You get the consultation. You're taking this all in the garbage time of your day. You know, that movie, The Remains of the Day. Well, this is the better use of your day. So rather than listening to music all day, you're working, turning that car into a money-making machine. All right, because my car before certainly wasn't making me any money. So, do the interaction. Point your phone at your face. Dictate the op note. Triage it. You do it as many times as you want, and the numbers are going to build up. It's a system. It's a system. And it certainly works. This time last year, we had Dr. Miami, and he was talking about do the virtual consults. And he asked, how many people in this room are doing virtual consults? And you get a couple. And he'd say, how many are you doing? And I said, I do about 1 a month. Well, now I do 5 to 10 a day, every single day. And, it gets to the point there's so many that you have to triage the overflow, so you cherry pick. And you tell your staff to follow said protocols. It's very, very simple. All right, so let me give you a little example of how the exchange goes with, let's say the patient doesn't pick up the phone. So how do you manage that? Well, it's simple. You keep everything short and sweet because you don't want to spend your time and waste your time making long messages, pitching things, if you don't know if that patient is even a viable lead. All right? So virtual communications 101 is it is short and it is sweet. All right? You build rapport. What's the easiest way to build rapport? Short and sweet. Just state a fact using the patient's own words of whatever she said. I'm interested in a vaginoplasty. You said you were interested in a vaginoplasty. That could be a text. It could be an email. All right? Suggest an action based on that little bit of information on which you both agree. What's a good time to chat? You don't ask them if they want to chat. You assume that they want to chat. They contacted you. And then you give them limited choices. Okay? It's choice A or choice B. That way, they have to choose one or the other or suggest an alternate option. All right? This is all about being brief and being efficient. All right? So state the fact using their own words, 2 or 3 words. It's called mirroring. It's it is a sales technique, but it's an effective technique. The patient said, you use my words, you listen to me. Okay? You suggest the action, and you give them only 2 options. Okay? Shall we speak at 9 a.m. today or 6 p.m. tomorrow? I try to go for opposite times of the day because people work, and you'll either catch them before work or after work. Okay? But you got to listen. Don't start by pitching and saying, I'm the best this, I'm the best that. They called you because they already know that. So all they want to hear is, how can I help you? How can I help you with your problem? So when patients come to me for a vaginoplasty, they don't come to me because they want a vaginoplasty. They come to me because they want better sex. They're just trying to pick a do-it-yourself approach to what they think is the best way to achieve that. Well, patients don't come to me because they want a tummy tuck. They come to me because they want a flat belly. So once you understand the problem they're really trying to fix, you have a much more powerful solution for discussing their needs. Patients don't come to me because they want Botox. They come to me because they want to look younger. So when you identify the problems, the real motivations, you're going to achieve clarity, and that is going to take you to the pinnacle of success. All right, go drink some coffee.